Hi, sorry.
First breakdown.
Yeah, but don't worry because I'm just going to bring you straight back in. I'll ask that question again, so it's no problem. It's
Yeah,
a
the second question. Yeah,
perfect cut moment,
just a
to be
second
honest.
question.
Yeah, no, it's perfect cut moment. I'm just going to acknowledge the
Mhm.
fact we had a little technical problem, and then I'll ask you again. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm sorry we had a little technical hitch there. So Katrina, you were just going to tell us about your personal experience, how you've transformed yourself.
Exactly. So, as many people, obviously, I had like a very, it was not an easy childhood, and I would say like teenage years, because my parents get divorced. I started using like the birth control pill, and that got me into depression. I was thin in the beginning, and then I gained like 15 or 17 kilos, around that amount. And I was just very depressed. I was in a very, very dark space. I was like, I just didn't know how to get out. It was really, I was like, okay, I feel internally I'm not living my potential. Something is like just keeping me underwater, and it was, and it actually, it all started when I was 14, 15 years old. And it took me like all this time. And during this time of like trying to get myself out of that situation and to like finally feel my best and have the feeling that I live my full potential, I developed all these strategies to detox myself. And basically that was the groundwork for the program that I teach now. So like all the methods that I teach are basically my best practices that I learned during the last 15 years, so to get myself out there, because I really do believe that each and every one of us is so powerful. And once you get rid of that victim mentality and see that all that you need is already inside of you, and I just provide the toolbox for you on how you can do that best and like the quickest way possible, then you can really live up to your full potential. And I see that in so many people, they just don't know how. And that's why I really love sharing my knowledge so that they get the toolkit on how to do that.
I love that. I love that. That's just so brilliantly said. I love that. So do you feel, in terms of through your own experience and wanting to give that to people, that's really what's inspired you to do the work that you do today? Do you have any other people in your life that have had their own company that kind of you thought, oh, maybe I could do that? Or it literally was a life change for you and you felt compelled to do the work that you do?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So actually, as I said, I worked as a manager before for many years, and actually I was doing Happy Detox on the side. So I did like coachings to just get like, I did my certification next to working full time, just because I felt like internally, I felt like that's my real passion. I always love to share my knowledge about holistic health. And then it just, how can I say, like my boyfriend, he's also an entrepreneur. So he was always telling me like, hey, do it. Like, you have such a big knowledge in that field. Like people need to hear of that. You just have to spread your message. You can help so many people. And then I decided to like jump into the cold water, and I quit my job and started doing that full time. And I never looked back since then, because obviously like the satisfaction that you get when you have transformed these many lives. And like when you have a look at the before and after pictures on my Instagram, it's really amazing how people really transform like holistically. It's not just like a fat detox diet, starve, yourself to death, and then you're like, oh, without energy. It's about really like rising up to your full potential, like detox all the layers that are just holding you down, and then you will shine just from the inside. It's like the natural process. You just have to get rid of all those limitations.
Yeah, you make it sound so fantastic, really. Like
Because
really.
it is like this whole process, it's really like it's literally life changing, you know, when you finally can say like, wow, I always dreamed to be that best version of myself, you know. Because every morning, you like, most people in the morning, they wake up and like this negative programming starts in their head, and they start telling themselves, oh, like, oh no, I gain weight and I don't want to do that, like I want to feel happy, I want to feel slim, you know what I mean? It's like you start your day off not being happy with yourself, you know. And I think that's a violation to your soul, to be honest, because your soul wants to be happy, your soul wants to shine your bright light, right? And most people, and what you also have to see is that like the system, in my opinion, doesn't want us to shine bright. It doesn't want to people live up to their full potential. You know, it's all about people being strategically poisoned by the food that they eat, all the GMOs, all the pesticides. The water is polluted, you know, and then you have all those antibiotics. You have like all these medications that that just clog up your liver, you know, and all of this is like pounding on you. And on top of that, you have like the social media pressure nowadays, always being on the telephone, you know, like never being really in your core, in your presence.
Yeah.
It just adds so much burdens, you know. And then again, on top of that, you have all the unresolved emotional issues that people carrying around, like childhood trauma, not processed emotion, like for breakups and all that stuff. People just stuff themselves like, oh my God, I cannot bear this feeling. And then they start eating ice cream in order to feel heavy and not feel these emotions, you know? So, and it's really a downward spiral. It just goes more down and down and down until they reach a point where you say, okay, I cannot do this anymore. I have to change, you know? So it then all starts from there, you know?
Right. Yeah. That kind of, that catalyst that I have to make this change. So tell us, how do you work with people? How long does it take? And how can people, well, I know you have a gift for everyone. So tell us about that, and tell us how they can, where to begin, basically. Tell us the process.
Yes. Okay, great. So I created a detox course with my signature method, which is called the Flush. And I created that Flush with my mentor, who was a healer. I worked with him, I think, like actually, yeah, 20 years, almost 20 years. And he really is like he's a yogi, like a real yogi who was like in like Tibet and all of that. And he was like holistically healing people of cancer and all these chronic diseases. So all my methods, like, it's not just that I came up with them. It's really like ancient knowledge. It's like very, how can I say, like it's very unique knowledge. You cannot find that knowledge anywhere else. So the Flush as well, like the way it is done, no one knows about it. And I trademarked it as well because it's so effective and so powerful. So you can just sign up at the link, I think, that you provide with Happy Detox /free course. And it will just show you like some how to do it, like how to do the Flush exactly. And this will clean out your colon. This is like the very, very most important step, actually, because most people have clogged up elimination channels. So you have different elimination channels through the skin. You can detox through the skin, through your kidneys, through colon, obviously, but also like the mucus that is coming out from your nose, from your mouth. It's also an elimination channel. So when people start having allergies and getting like coughing and getting all this mucus out, they think, oh, I'm getting sick. But in reality, their body is just detoxing. Because you have mucus accumulation in your nostrils and everywhere, you know, like when already the colon is clogged up, the lungs are clogged up, that's where all of these allergy symptoms come. And once you free the main elimination channel, which is the colon, once you start getting rid of toxins and mucus there, then like the whole body gets like an uplift in energy, you know. So there's always a reason. Even when you get fever, most people start to like take medications to get the fever out. But a fever, again, is a detox reaction. The body starts heating up the body, so that like heating up itself, so that all the bacteria, all the pathogens start to die off. Right. So it's actually like detox symptom. And people, they just misinterpret that, you know. They think, when they think of detox, they think of a 7-day juice cleanse.
Yeah, it's very true.
To that point. But the problem is that the system of most people is so clogged up that as soon as they start doing that or start doing a fast, all of that stuff comes up and they feel horrible. They have headaches, they feel nauseous, you know, like they feel like, oh my God, I'm literally gonna die. And then they discord detox. And then they say like, oh no, this thing doesn't work for me. Like, no, I feel horrible, I cannot do that. But it's because they have not enough knowledge what their symptoms mean. And you really have to just like start little and then ramp it up, because like the toxin overload, it's just not bearable for you, especially if you never cleansed before, if you have never done a liver cleanse before, if you never done a colonic before, you know, and you're like 50, 60 years old, you know, there's like a lot of toxins already stored, you know, and then once you like peek into it, it's like overflowing, you know. So you really have to make sure to like consistently do that, and it has to be like a long period of time. And I don't believe in restriction, I don't believe in fasting or like those juice cleanses. It has to be a lifestyle change. So what I promote with Happy Detox is literally a lifestyle change, you know. It only works like that. And with this free course, it's a great start, because you also get like a program with like juices, morning detox drinks, evening detox drinks. And then if you decide you want to really go deep and heal yourself like on the deepest level, so that like your problems go out of window this time for sure, you know, and you don't bounce back, then you can do the full program, and it's 12 weeks. So I would say, in order to reset your body and to like really create habits that stick with you for a lifetime, you have to do like the full program for the 12 weeks. And then on top of that, if someone says, okay, I need your full support, like program is nice and stuff, and I like to see your videos, but I need your help specifically, I also do private coachings. But I limit that as well. I limit the private coachings to 5 maximum per month. And this is then like a very deep immersion. So you do like 1 month very deep, and then you're good to go. Yeah.
Okay, wow.
That's how I work.
That's amazing. That is amazing. And I imagine that when people start to feel those eliminations, emotions come up and stuff comes up. So then it goes to another level. Yeah.
Absolutely. You see, like I have, how can I say, just imagine yourself like a pyramid, you know. Mm-hmm. And most people have the problem or do the mistake. That's like why most diets fail. Yeah. That like on top there's like the mental level, you know. Obviously you have the soul, then it's the mental level, then it's the emotional level, and the last one is the physical layer. So it always starts with a thought. If, for example, an architect wants to build a house, he first has the mental construct, then he brings it down to paper, then you get the physical manifestation. And the same, it's a universal principle, and it works with the body as well. You first have the thought about yourself, you know, and if that thought is, I'm fat, I'm miserable, I'm not good enough, you know, then you create the emotion, because when you think those thoughts, you feel miserable. You think, yeah, I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm depressed. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then you get the physical manifestation in the body, that your body is like all like slobby, not strong. You know what I mean? Yeah. And most people, they start fixing the physical layer and don't realize they would come a lot quicker, like they would reach their goal a lot quicker if they would start at the top of the pyramid.
Wow. That's so amazing and so simple. You've made it sound so simple in that way. That makes a big difference.
It is. Yeah. It is. You know what I mean? Like most people, they focus so much on the lowest part of the pyramid. They just have to like allocate the resources like on top of the pyramid, and then the physical manifestation will follow. And as I said, it took me like 15 years to realize that, you know. And I also made like what I learned along that path is that very like most often the most simple things are the most efficient ones, you know, and those are the things that work. If you overcomplicate things, it will never work for you, you know. So that really the key, in my opinion, that you start on the mental level, and that's why I created this mental. You did the program. I start out with the mindset section, right? So you really learn how can I shape my mindset that it helps me reach my goal and is not against me, because everyone knows it, like once you, for example, you make up your mind, you say, okay, now I'm going to work out. And then you're like super motivated in the morning, you get your gym clothes on, you work out, you drink your smoothie, and you're like, yeah, I'm so proud of myself, and then your thoughts change, right? So you actually work the other way around, right? But if you, and then something comes, like, life always throws challenges at you, okay? And then like, life is like, swaps you in the face and something happens, you break up with your boyfriend, no matter what it is, and your thoughts, they shift from like goal to, I have to deal with that. And boom, all that you did on the physical level, it just vanishes and you're back to your old self, right? It's like, I think every human being went exactly through this process several times, right? You make up your mind, you're like, okay, now I'm going to be a new me. Then the challenge comes and you're like, boom, back to your old ways, Right. So, and really for me, I think like the key is to just really work on top of the pyramid first, to make sure that you create those habits, those mental thought patterns, the emotion, clear out all these emotions, that you're aligned with your physical appearance, So
right, totally.
In my opinion, that's like the only sustainable way, the only one.
Yeah, no, it all makes so much sense, and you're making it so it just is. There's just no question about it. We have to do this. And one thing I would say is, from a personal note, is I love the red grape tea. It's just amazing. Every morning I'm having the red tea. I make it fresh every morning. It's delicious and so good for me.
It is.
Yeah. So yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I have some clients as well who wrote me, since I drink the morning detox drink, I haven't been sick this year at all, because you get like all this boost from the ginger, from the lemon, and red grapes is like one of the most detoxifying foods on this planet, It draws in the toxins. It's an astringent, and that means that like it pours out toxins. For example, when you bite into a lemon, it's like your salvia, everything is like drawn, and then you get like this mucus formation. This is what's happening in your whole body. The toxins are like to those, like attached to those ingredients. Yes, it really is fascinating. And like there's like there's so many amazing like methods how you can detox your body, and people, they just have to know about it, and I really like, in my opinion, there's still so much misconception about detox, and it really is an art, in my opinion, and you have to know exactly what you're doing, because if you don't know, you can create harm. It's what happens when people, they're like, when they like live this like filthy lifestyle, eating all kinds of foods, and then they start to like, then they hear about a liver cleanse, and then they don't read the instruction properly, then they do it, and then they feel bad, and then they're like, oh my God, this stuff doesn't work, you know what I mean? And then detox is not for me. No, like you have a responsibility here, that you know exactly what is going on in your body when you do those methods, right? Because you don't want to end up feeling bad. You want to end up feeling amazing. And as I said, for example, like the liver cleanse is one of the quickest way to like reset your body. Because also when you talk about like emotion and trauma and stuff, all the negative emotions, especially anger, is stored in the liver. In German, there's a saying like, did someone run over your liver? Why are you so angry? There's like a German saying like that. And there's a reason for that, So because very often when we have like all these aggressions within us, we're like, why do I feel that way? I don't understand it, And it's because those negative emotions, they are energetically attached to the stones that are in the liver. So everyone has liver stones. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if you knew that, but it basically like when the bile gets like stingy, and it gets mixed up with toxins from the because the liver is like a huge manufacturing, yeah, like a huge factory, right? Like hormones are created there, it filters your blood, like from all the toxins, everything is recycled in the liver. And those toxins, they have to go somewhere, right? And most often they're attached to the bile and then excreted through the colon. But very often when the bile gets too stingy, sand is formating, and then this sand formates to stones. So you can just like Google that and like it, just type in liver stones and you will see like those big green stones, and sometimes they're black when they're very old, sometimes they're yellow when they are from the gallbladder, and people get like their gallbladder removed and all of that, where they could just simply do a liver cleanse and get these out just like that naturally. For example, my uncle, he had a clogged up gallbladder, so there was no more bile excretion because he had like a huge stone in his gallbladder. And then we did this cleanse, and then he didn't have to have the operation. So, and like, I mean, the gallbladder is a very important organ. You don't have to get rid of it. You can just do the cleanses and completely repair that organ.
Wow, that's fascinating. Really, really fascinating. And
yes,
I mean, so you brought me to a very interesting point, actually, and then we'll come back a little bit because so much great information, amazing. So I mean, really, I mean, oh gosh, you know, in terms of education, in terms of educating young adults, I mean, it's a shame that, you know, they need to know this stuff because this is the beginning of their life. You know, we all have to eat. We have one body, and it's like, if we understand how it works and how to reach our optimum health, it just makes sense. It should be part of the education system. It's really because they have. I have no idea, and I'm sure a lot of our audience don't. So, I mean, what are your feelings on that in terms of young adults? How can we educate them more? And I don't even know at what age. I mean, I have 2 children, a gorgeous daughter who is already making little comments about, oh, you know, do I look fat? I mean, you know, like it's, at what age do you think it's wise to start educating the children on this?
To be honest, I think it's always leading by example. This is like the best way when it comes to educating. Like, especially like, to be honest, before, like when I hear someone saying, oh, I'm like a health coach or something like that, I look at that person and I look, is that person radiant? Is that person glowing? Like, do you lead by example, you know? Walk the talk, right? So, and I can, and that's what I was looking for. So when you say you have a gorgeous daughter and she starts saying, hey, am I fat and blah, that basically you are her leading example. So you will change her the most when you lead by example, when you say, hey, you are an amazing soul and you are lovable, you are powerful, you know what I mean? And once you start doing that for yourself, you just naturally, your children will see you and they will just naturally adapt your behavior. So leading by example is like the most efficient way, I would say. And, you know, I'm